Hey everybody, it is that Suburban Garden Permaculture Style guy, and also known as our post-pandemic life on Rumble. It's going down. We are moving. We have actually already moved. I had to do you guys a video. I had to clear up some space on the old phoneage to get you a video out. We have moved. This is still here. It's still under construction, but the children, the animals, the cats, the dog, they're all not here anymore. We still have a little bit of garden going on. Still have our plants out here. But I wanted to give you another look at the yard. This might be y'all's last look. Everything that died back from the winter has grown back up this much. It's taller as a 6-foot fence. It's going to hide these nice little gaps in the fence. But as you can see, we cut it off way down here. This is all new growth from those cut off stumps. As you can see, stumps. All of these things have grown 6 feet since then. So clay soil does have its advantages, the black gumbo. It is nutritious if nothing else, because I don't fertilize none of this stuff. Asian pears are still rocking. This one put on some fruit this year. They stay small, I don't know, until towards the end of the year maybe. This other Asian pear, boy, they're huge. The squirrels are fighting me for these things on a daily. They're ripe at this point. We picked up one that the squirrel must have just knocked off. It's why the branches are hanging. They keep jumping on them, and they're heavy. And anyway, ended up cleaning it up, cut off the part that he had bit, and ate the rest of it, and it was delicious. Like, it wasn't quite that big, so this one's probably really good. As you can see, there's big clusters. Everything I ever wanted to accomplish, you guys, there it is. I have accomplished what I came here to accomplish. Trees laden with fruit. I have set out what I accomplished to do. Let me come up under here. And brag on my stuff real quick. It took a lot of effort and a lot of YouTube. I ain't gonna lie. I didn't come up on this on my own. My original name of my channel was The Garden That YouTube Built, because that was the truth. I learned most of this stuff from YouTube. I mean, there's fruit all up in this tree. As you can well see, I have accomplished what I set out to do with these fruit trees. And I'm selling them. Selling them with the house. I did everything I could. We got a lot of flowers growing in here, a lot of this viney looking mess. There's apples on the trees, as you can see, probably. They're a little scarry, a little funky looking, some of them. Some of them are too many in the clusters, and I should have thinned more. But there are apples. Fire blight's still a thing. Squirrels. There you go. They'll get you. So I take the ones they mess up, and I put them up on the fence, and then I come back later, and they're gone usually. So here's one I set up here that they'd already worked on, to show you how much they eat. That's one of the Asian pears right there. So, yeah, there's that. The apples. You see some knocked off on the grounds from them knocking them off. You see apples everywhere. Apples everywhere you look. The house was doing good, you guys. Everything was looking beautiful. We leveled out everything. There's no dog or cats or anything out here anymore. So if I clean and level this, the dog isn't digging holes anymore. But the dog kept that all tore up for a long time. I'll give you a good wide view here. We'll zoom in, just see. You can see the tomatoes on the vine. We tried to leave them a garden, guys. We didn't get out of here in time because this stuff is pretty much dying back for the summer. You know, it's really hot here. There's a bunch of cherry tomatoes ripe on the vine. Tried to get them up the trellis all the way. Didn't quite make it. We didn't even till that garden this year. Although there's a big cantaloupe in there. One vine right there. We did good on cantaloupes this year. I'm going to show you that. That mulberry tree, I started coppicing it back. Let you get a good look at this area. Again, may not see this ever again. I'll wander aimlessly. The strawberries are doing great. They're not producing a lot of strawberries right now, even though they're ever bearing, just some little ones, because they're running like crazy. And they have made, this is all a new layer of strawberries right here, as you can probably see on the video. And then these exponentially spreading. These things are doing fantastic in this soil that we brought in on top of the clay. We planted some of our sages from the beginning of the pandemic, like January, February of 2020. And so sage that we planted back then, we'll let that carpet out in there. So they'll have sage, thyme, well, I'm sorry, that's thyme, that's sage, and strawberries, all perennials. And then this is a fruiting mulberry. How did the kiwis do, guys? How did the kiwis do? Well, I did pretty damn good, you guys. Fuzzy Vincent kiwis, ladies and gentlemen. I present to you Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas, fuzzy kiwis. Who knew, right? And we got all these things all over. Yeah. So these belong to somebody, not me. This was the hand-pollinated ones, the ones I hand-pollinated, and it set fruit everywhere, just like I always hoped it would, up under this cool trellis thing that we built. Let me make sure I'm zoomed out. There we go. I let it grow a sucker. The sucker did really good. The sucker fruited, so some of the fruit are actually coming off of the sucker. They always fruit. They fruit really close to the base of where a sucker grows out. So if you get a sucker growth, and you'll get a cluster like right at the base, usually like this. So as you can tell, there are clusters upon clusters. The male's doing okay. Coming over here, we got cantaloupes running wild everywhere. The two squashes or zucchini, they got squash bugged out immediately. Oh, keep my finger off the camera. There's one hanging, there's a guy up under there. I don't even know if I'm looking at it. This guy, this is all from this vine. This is just one vine here, and there's one over there, and one here. So, and then there's like one there, one there, one there, one there, one there. You see some big ones back there. I'm just waiting on them to ripen at this point. They're not really ripe yet. They're still got green. They're still really attached to the stem. They're not trying to come off. That guy's not too far off, but still not even all the way mapped. There's one that's grown into the fence over here because I wasn't paying attention. We tried to plant out something just to show them what they could do here. Not that anybody really wants to do all this stuff. Maybe they don't even want this stuff. Look, I undo the fence and it falls over. Let me zoom back. Bad with the camera. I do apologize. Bad with the camera. There's more cantaloupes hiding here, but the cool guy is this one. Well, it's not cool. Not cool for him at all. I don't know if you can see that. It's growed into the fence. Silly leaves got in the way. It's growed into the fence. Oh man. I don't have any wire. I took the wire cutters with me when we moved over to the new address. But yeah, we moved out into the middle of the country, as promised. I'm not BSing you. My family does not live here anymore. And the house is preparing to be put on the market. Yeah. All this work I put in is going to be somebody else's. Of course, we're taking this mess with us right here. This is not going to be here. This setup here, the two blueberries, they have done amazing. Okay, now I'm like 5'10"-ish and a half, maybe. They're way over my head. Like, I don't even know if y'all can tell. They're way over my head. They did great. This is a sucker that grew from the roots and came out way at the base. There's a lot of this is sucker growth, which is great, right? Like this stuff is coming all the way from the base way down low. This one's never did as good. I don't know if you can see it. The leaves kind of have a little shot through with a veiny yellow, it's full of puffball funguses. They're everywhere in the base. And there's a lot of mycelial things going on here. So I fertilized it recently with some acidic loving plant fertilizer. Compost area is looking cool. Got giant sunflowers and amaranths growing here, hanging out. I dumped out my black soldier fly bin before we threw it away, because I'm gonna have to rebuild a new one. And tomato plants started growing out of the compost from there. That's a tomato plant, that's a tomato plant, and that is a pumpkin vine that goes out into the yard. This guy is a pumpkin vine because that's a pumpkin. This is where a squirrel took a bite out of it recently. But yeah, we got a little pumpkin out here. Grow wild in the yard. You know how we are. We're going to let that kind of stuff grow, see what happens. Good God, that's almost touching the communications wire. It's going to come down soon. We'll chop it. Come around here. I mowed recently some of our fence stuff we took down. I'm going to take down all that fence stuff because there's no dog here now. Pomegranates have grown back from these died back down to nothing. Let's see. There's the bases. We cut them back, and this thing died back like 5 years ago, and now it's coming back better than that. This almond has struggled since the moment we put it in. It's been a disappointment. It needs to be done something with. Ooh, this amaranth's getting big. I think that's a male amaranth. I'm not even sure. I've always wondered, because you'll get this weird one every now and then normally they look like that or like this, right? And this has got pollen on it, because if you dust it, you'll see pollen. You'll probably see it on the camera. But I don't know. I think maybe that. I don't know. It's weird. Amaranth. Big, stalky amaranth. My maters. We've already pulled 4 maters off of this big guy. That was a big cluster of tomatoes down there. Been picking them off. It was the first ones ripening. These haven't been picked off of yet. I see a big hole in one of them. We got a couple rows of peppers in. Golly, look at the leaves being chewed up on that one by some caterpillars. Buttheads. But yeah, we put in a couple rows of peppers for people just to show them what they can do, I guess. These kales have been in here for a year and a half, so or like at least a year, do another summer. They were pandemic plants, and they're still not bolted. They're getting tore up by the little bit of caterpillarage, but that's something to work with. I mean, clean them up, harvest, do what you got to do with what you got to do with. Yeah, all right, that's it. I thought I'd show y'all around. I'll do another video, show you this thing, this place we're staying at. It's a little under half an acre. Everything's a mess over here because we're trying to pack. I'm going to show you just to prove my point. We've been camping out in the dining room, but the house is mostly empty. Repairing corners and stuff that kids destroy. Oh my God, this floor is so bad. All the carpet's gonna come out. They banged on the sheetrock so much that nail popped it. But yeah, I had to do some work. Had to fix the whole frame. The kids fighting each other and try to bust the doors and shatter the door frames. Some liquid nails and some giant C clamps in a couple places. Get that all up in there and then sand it all back down. It's just like original. Hard as a rock. Put it back on. Be ready to rock. Kids are rough on this place. But yep, that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, we are leaving. A little bit of patchwork. That's the bar top. That one giant piece is going to be the top of that bar. Giant piece of birch wood. And yes, everything looks like crap because it's just covered in everything. But yeah, the 8-foot piece will come all the way down to 1 foot off the end. And one top of tile is 1 foot and go across that. Anyway, we'll see you later maybe. All right. Just thought I'd let y'all know. We're moving forward with the whole moving to the country. Gonna do this big thing. Gonna make us a big purchase of some, looking like 20 acres or more, maybe more than that. It's gonna be interesting. And if you think I did cool stuff here, wait till you see what I do when I get a tractor. I am not BSing you. Wait until I get a tractor. I'm just saying. I'll holler at y'all later.